all of that brought us up to the main event.
Yes.
For the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, 3-time champion Jon Moxley going up against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. Go ahead, let it out. I'm gonna say mine second.
What do we say about this match? You know, on one hand, being a Bryan Danielson fan, and I love Bryan Danielson, he did say his time was coming to an end. Yeah. And you have to respect that, and you have to be aware that this is probably coming to an end. I think what happened in Wembley Stadium, him winning the belt over Swerve, getting the celebration, I truly believe that Tony Khan, and I could be wrong, and one day Tony's going to tell us that because he'll be here. I truly believe Tony Khan did that for the fans.
Yeah.
He did that to give us a happy moment with Bryan Danielson. You get the championship, you get the pomp and the circumstance. He gets to put that on the incredible resume.
We get
to see Bree, we get to see Birdie, you know. We get to see his boy and Buddy. And that was for the fans. And I really believe what happened at WrestleDream was probably Bryan Danielson's idea. I believe probably that's how he wanted to go out. And it was a tough watch. It was a great match, violent, not as bloody as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But at the end, Moxley chokes out Danielson, puts him to sleep, even though I think the ref kind of rang the bell a little soon for my particular taste, but you're in there to protect the performers. And then all hell broke loose after. It was almost not quite as bad as Brock ending the streak, but when the ref rang the bell, AEW's production was so great at that point. They didn't hit Moxley's music. You kind of let it sink in, and I think the whole crowd kind of felt it. I'm sitting at home watching it, and I was just like,
yeah, dude. And that's what I want to get into. When it happened, when the bell rang and it is dead silent in there, they pan out, no music is playing.
And you're like, did this really happen?
Yes, that was the moment. That was the, oh my God, that was the turning of the tide. Everything, any movie cliche you want to call it, that was the moment right then and there. And, you know, obviously the Wembley thing happened, and in my mind, being a Swerve fan, you know, everybody knows I was talking smack on Twitter, you know, thank you, Bryan, you know, it's over. They're going to send him out in front of the biggest crowd that could clap for him, in front of his family. It's going to be beautiful. Then he won. It's like, oh, all right. Then they're not about to do this to him in his hometown, are they? And then Washington, his home state, I should say. Yeah. So he takes the L, and yes, the controversy right now is about what happened after.
Yeah.
You know, the bag over the head, tying up Darby, the Wheeler Yuta, backstabbing.
Betrayal.
Yeah, the betrayal.
Wheeler Yuta, you're rat. You're from Philly. And I could have suspected something like that was coming.
I'll say this. Because I love Bryan Danielson, I hated it, but I love that they did it. I love that they did it because we love Bryan so much. Yeah, we as fans want to see the wave. We want to do the thank you, Bryan. We expect that movie ending because we know that he deserves it. But what Bryan also deserves is to go out in a way that helps his boys. Yeah. He helps his boy. He's putting his boys on a path right now. Mox, when MJF was a heel, yes, he's a heel. Yes, he's saying this, that, and third to the crowd. But he's just so charismatic and so cool
like
that
him.
You end up loving him. Yeah. Swerve, same thing.
Yes.
Hangman has every right to hate you, Swerve.
Yep.
But like, you so dope that like the fans can't help but gravitate toward you.
Yes.
Moxley is a heel now that is fueled with hate. Nobody is happy about that unless you one of them Moxley stands. Nobody.
And I don't think Moxley is even happy because Moxley's whole story is something's coming.
Yes.
And he's trying to prevent it from happening. And by any means necessary, he needed to have that belt. He needed to be one on the call sheet, as we like to say. We don't know what's coming. Something's coming. But Moxley made it a point. Like, I don't think he necessarily enjoyed it, but in his mind, he did what was necessary. Now, by doing this, I don't know if you can ever, You can never say he can never be a babyface again. But for right now, taking out Bryan Danielson in the way that the BCC did, that cemented them as heels for a long time.
And you've put so many people by Bryan being that sacrificial lamb. I'm gonna call him a sacrificial goat because that's what he is. You've put so many people into such a good pathway now for what fans are always complaining at AEW about, which is story. Now, who's going to step up?
Yep.
Who's going to step up? We have the biggest villainy that we've had in the company that I can even think of. We've made the big bad now. Yeah. Now it's on you, Darby. Who's going to step up? Claudio, you got to get answered to. Pac, you need to get answered to. Wheeler, you have to give us something. It's all these things now that go into Mox, the head of the snake. Who is going to step up? And you've given so many AEW stars now a path into some juicy television to the point where now we have to watch Dynamite. You have to see what happens. And that is what I'm guilty of complaining of it. And now I got to give credit where credit is due.
Okay.
They gave me the movie that I have been dying for, and it's time to see. Daniel Garcia, you were out there too, but now you got to deal with MJF being back and Scapegoat. So now we got some juicy television, and it might have hurt, but that feeling is what the job is. They were supposed to make you feel distaste. Now see what somebody's going to do about it. Because it can't be just waiting for Goku and Kenny Omega. I need to see somebody step up, and I'm excited. It took balls, what you guys did, and I applaud you for it. Watch new episodes of No Contest Wrestling every Wednesday or listen wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us at No Contest Wrestling Podcast on Instagram.